Hello everyone, Char here with a response to KPHM42's review of Char's Counterattack. Now I will say right now there are going to be spoilers, so if you haven't seen Char's Counterattack yet and you plan on doing so, stop watching this video right now, come back to it after you've watched Char's Counterattack. Also, I'm coming to this experience from a perspective of someone who's only watched Mobile Suit Gundam in its entirety, and then nothing else in between. So I have not seen Zeta, Double Zeta, or anything. So I'm going straight from Mobile Suit Gundam to Char's Counterattack. I will agree with KPHM42 that it's a confusing movie because there are a lot of points in the plot that are not explained well. Terms and concepts such as New Type, Earth Federation, Psycommu, Psycho Frame, Space Noids, Earth Noids, Zeon, Neo-Zeon, Mobile Suits, all these things are not really given any effort in the script for explanation. And so that means if you're uninitiated into Gundam or Universal Century, you're going to be left out in the dark for the most part. And so that's a shame, because this is something that should be a standalone product that anybody should be able to enjoy, because it is a movie. But only the knowledgeable fans will get this, so that's a shame. Secondly, the characterizations for some of the characters are really, I just can't let go. They're just poor. Amuro is a really passive character, makes no development or evolution throughout the story. From the first second we see him to the last, he's the same. He's a one-note character. Char, while very cool in some aspects, is kind of odd in that he's made such a change from his Mobile Suit Gundam and apparently Zeta Gundam depictions, where now he's a mass murderer and is willing to put the Earth in nuclear winter to achieve his goals. The characters of Kes Pariah and Hathaway Noah I really did not like. I understand the motivation and intent of the characters, where they're rebellious teenagers, and that's to sort of be another sort of reflection of the dissonance between Earth and space, the Earth and space colonies, and the government of Earth and the citizens of the space colonies. The teenage rebellion is sort of like an analogy for that, I guess, as well. The only problem is Kes and Hathaway are both intellectually and emotionally stunted and deficient. Especially Kes. She's just like neurotic and almost psychopathic in her obsession over Amuro and Char. She's outright hostile towards Chan because Chan is romantically linked to Amuro, so she moves on to Char at a later point. And Kes is just crazy. I don't know, she's kind of stupid and crazy. Similar to Anakin Skywalker from the Star Wars prequels. Both of these characters are basically spoiled because they get on in life due to their raw potential and their ability. They never really had to work for what they get, and everybody treats them differently due to their abilities because they're just so good at what they do whenever they do it. So unfortunately they're just really I don't know, to me they're just unlikable characters. Hathaway is somewhat similar in that he's not too bad until the point where he steals a Jagan and goes out into space, gets in the way, and essentially gets Kes killed, and then goes on to murder Chan, a military officer. My biggest beef with that is the fact that apparently, as KPHM42 mentions, that Hathaway goes on to be a military pilot at a later point. Even though he's a minor, he steals a military vehicle and uses that military vehicle to murder a non-aggressive military officer. Chan didn't do anything that could be even considered as a threat to Hathaway, yet Hathaway kills her. So I really don't get that aspect of the story. And it's a big loophole for me, because in my opinion, Hathaway should be under strict legal limitations throughout the rest of his life, or at least a good portion of his life. It only makes sense because he stole a military vehicle and used it to murder a military officer. It wasn't, I guess it could be a crime of passion, but still, he's killed somebody who's in the military. So, and also my final point on the criticisms, I guess, would be just the overuse of mysticism. The whole concept of New Type is really interesting about the whole psychic awareness and the ability of a New Type to have greater spatial awareness, which helps you maneuver and navigate and basically function in outer space. However, at the end of the movie, where you get into that big explosion of psychic energy and the psycho frame explodes or floats around in space or whatever happens, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like the heavily mysticism or mystical and magical aspect of the story at the end. Now I'm going to move on to my sort of points that I really do like about the movie. I'll start off on the good characterizations. Char is as charismatic as ever, he's just a really cool character, and he's the master puppeteer, master manipulator. He totally orchestrates everything. That's the sort of Char's greatest strength, is that he can read people and situations and knows how to sort of anticipate what the best course of action is in order to achieve his goals. So that's definitely where he shines there. Alternatively, the character of Nanai, is Char's sort of second command, I really love that character because she's such an, I think, underrated and underappreciated character, because here we have this female who has advanced so far in the military in a male-dominated, sort of setting. She's totally devoted to Char Aznavour, and she would die for him, and she really supports him. At the same time, you can see in Char that Char is basically a sociopath. He doesn't care about anybody else. He's only concerned about his own fulfillment. And he puts on this role of empathetic and compassionate person, but really in truth, everything is deliberate. He's only doing these things to fulfill his needs, his own desires. So I can definitely see, despite the closeness that he and Nanai have, I could definitely see Char throwing her away in a split second if it served his purposes. He does not care about Nanai, despite her total love and devotion to him. So to me, that's a tragic situation, and I really like it for that. You can see that this is a relationship that's going towards a dead end, and Nanai's going to get the short end of the stick, and it's just such a shame to see that. So I really like that aspect. I think that's a character with a lot of potential and a lot of understated, subtle things that are going on in the script, in the plot, and in her screen time. Another character I really like is Gyune Gus, who's this engineered new type. And again, we see sort of Char's unfeeling, cold attitude in that he rescues Gyune at one point, and Gyune thanks him for it, and Char simply says, I can't afford to lose you because of all the time and money we spent on you. And most people will be like, oh, that Char, he's so audacious, he's just a kidder, he's just a joker. That's totally not it. Char is serious. He's deadpan when he says that. People let that roll off the back because Char is so charismatic, and he delivers such lines in such a confident way that people don't see it as something that's aggressive or offensive. But that sums up Char, is that he doesn't care about people. He only cares about himself and his own cause. Gyune is a more human character for sure. He reveals to Kes at one point that he only got into the engineered new type program in order to serve as a watchdog for Char. He wants to make sure that Char doesn't go over the line, that he can serve as somebody who can stop Char should someday Char do something really drastic. As if throwing asteroids at Earth isn't drastic enough yet. But I mean, Gyune, although he's an antagonist and he's not a good guy, he does have redeeming characters and character values. So I really like that character in that he's more stable. He only competes against Char because he has romantic interest in Kes, but he has no outright animosity towards Char. And I think that, like Nanai, Gyune is another understated character who does a lot with their screen time. Other characters I really liked were Bright Noah, Mirai, and Cameron Bloom. Bright and Mirai, it was nice to see how they've moved on after Mobile Suit Gundam and developed as a couple. It was also nice to see Cameron develop as well, because when we first see him, he's kind of like a government sort of lackey. He an aristocratic sort of lackey, and now we see him take an active role in revealing to Bright, the man who married the woman that Cameron loves. Cameron comes forward and says, Char's here, there's something going on. And he even says, that act itself is like treason. It could get him imprisonment and maybe even threaten his life. So he takes a courageous act, and which is a great change from what we see earlier in Mobile Suit Gundam. And finally, the biggest thing, or one of the biggest things I liked about Char's Counterattack, is just the mobile suit design. The Yagdoga, Giradoga, Jagan, Rigazi, all these designs really reminded me again why I love the Universal Century mechanical design. So those are my thoughts on Char's Counterattack. I definitely agree with Kenny, with KPHM42 on a lot of his points, on every point he made in fact. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please watch KPHM42's video if you haven't already seen it. And if you guys have your own comments as well, please leave video responses to Kenny's video, or leave comments. It'd be great to hear other people's perspective. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.